Today I have a quick little video documenting the process of a recent Amiibo customization I did, in which I transformed Ike from Fire Emblem into Max from Shining Force. Shining Force is one of my fiancé's favourite games from childhood, and I love making him Shining Force related presents. I've done a sweater, a cross stitch, and some other stuff too. So I was really excited when I got the idea for this project. Now, I want to make it clear that this isn't a tutorial. Painting is definitely not my area of expertise, and this is the first time I've attempted any sort of Amiibo customization. So I'm not sure if what I'm doing here is the best way to go about it, but it was fun and I think it turned out fine, so. I was looking at a few different Fire Emblem Amiibos, trying to find someone that looked as similar to Max as possible, and I was kind of blown away by how closely Ike's mold fits Max. As you can see, he checks all the big boxes. The cape is there, it just needs repainting. Ike has some gauntlets which are slightly different, but I thought I could make it work with some silver. He already has the belt, which is great. The shoes are a different style, but that's not really a big deal. And he also has the shin pads already, so that's easy. Max doesn't have this shoulder armor here, but rather than try to remove it, I thought it could just be a cool new thing to incorporate into his look because I didn't want to risk damaging it or anything. So for the most part, I didn't need to make any structural changes, it was just repainting. The only thing I did want to add was something I could put along the bottom of the vest here to make it more of a tunic and, keep that region a little covered up because Max doesn't wear any pants. So I decided to use polymer clay to try to create a little piece that I could glue onto the Amiibo to create that tunic look. This took a bit of trial and error. It was hard to mold the clay into the right shape because I needed to take it off of his body and fire it in the oven before gluing the piece down. Surprisingly, one of my prototypes actually ended up being a great match. I used super glue to keep that sturdy and then filled in some gaps with a tiny bit of air dry clay. Alright, onto the painting! The first thing I did was cover the base in masking tape to try to keep it clean. I did this with the face as well because I didn't want to have to repaint it. First I did maybe 2 or 3 layers of white acrylic paint because I thought it would be better to work with a blank canvas so that the new colours could show up more vibrantly. It was pretty straightforward from there. I repainted all the areas that needed repainting. I tried to go from lighter to darker sections, doing really thin layers and making sure they were completely dry before doing the next. I think I did about 3 or so layers altogether. I'm really happy with how he turned out, although I did struggle to mix up a good skin match for his legs. I guess it's only noticeable if you really pay attention to it though. Off camera, I also sprayed it with a couple layers of Mod Podge to try to seal it a little. My favourite thing about this project is that the Chaos Breaker actually glows in the dark. I used this Deco Art glow-in-the-dark paint, which was nice, but I will say that it was really difficult getting an even glow. I would do one layer and then when I tested it with no lights it would seem kind of splotchy and have this weird texture to it. People recommend using a UV torch while painting to help keep it even, but that didn't help me very much. Maybe I was doing something wrong. Anyway, in the end I just ended up smothering the paint on and trying to fill in those gaps that way. Which is probably not how you're supposed to use glow-in-the-dark paint, but you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. And I'm happy with how it looks now, so. So yeah, that was my little Amiibo painting project. I repackaged it with a pretty poorly designed backplate that I photoshopped really quickly and printed on cardstock. So, that's the video. Thanks for watching, have a lovely day, and I will see you next time.